Hi everyone, it's Mandy here with the beautiful, glamorous, amazing Zoe Nash. Someone I'm just holds so dear to my heart. Zoe and I've worked on boats and raced on boats together. We've always shared a passion for wellness and health, having degrees in health and then coming into yachting. And we run retreats together, and she's just the most beautiful person. And now you're a doctor of Chinese medicine, is that right?
Practitioner of Chinese medicine, yeah.
And so having worked on boats and run retreats and all over the world, I'm going to let Zoe introduce herself. Zoe Nash.
Yeah, thank you, Amanda. Oh, it's so good to reconnect with you like this. And thanks for inviting me and having me on. And yeah, it's great to be here and to sort of be able to share a little bit from, that world of yachting that I have been in as well. But I came from, being a practitioner of Chinese medicine, and then sort of moved on and being a therapist on the yachts, but also, working definitely in the interior as well, and in all of everything that happens on the boats. And then, just sort of finding my way through that, started to freelance on them. And then for the last 6 years, I've been living in Bali, running my own practice, and then freelancing around the world, creating retreats and teaching yoga and all sorts of things, and helping to coach people into sort of more wholesome, happier, healthier lifestyles, really. So it's really good to be here, and thanks for having me again.
It's a pleasure. So what we're doing in this series is we're just giving people, as we both know from working on boats, it's really hard to have exercise. It's hard to have a morning routine. It's hard to have, 20 minutes a day to meditate. And a lot of the time we put our wellness routines on hold for the season. And, we're right in the thick of the middle of the season. It's super hot outside. A lot of people have been back to back on charter, or people in luxury travel industry like us, are in villas, or they've just been working flat out, or on private jets flying around the world, or driving choppers flat out. So, we know what it's like. Zoe and I both also traveled and lived in hotels back to back, and places that aren't our home and out of suitcases. So coming from that knowledge, like, how do you sustain a healthy lifestyle? How do you stay so emotionally intelligent? What are a few 5-minute tips that you could share with the guys to really make it way easier?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that it's really, that's the thing. It's like when the days are super busy, and it's sort of about, okay, so normally if you have a practice, or you're normally super fit and you're in the gym, or you have like certain hobbies or whatever it is that you normally have, and then suddenly you get into this really intense work environment, and it sort of throws you, and you start to feel kind of almost frustrated and beating yourself up a little bit, and giving yourself a super hard time for not managing to do it all. And I think one of the most important things to recognize is that to kind of cut yourself a little bit of slack with that, I think, is one of the most important things, really, is to be kind to yourself and recognize that you're being, you are working hard, and there's a moment in time where you've committed to do this job. And I guess really to sort of start to cultivate an awareness of really doing that job from your heart, and really finding a way that gives you purpose, so that it's not just a work and you're kind of in the trenches, and then there's like a life where you're free and you're being healthy, but it's sort of finding that place within your work that you can really find your own center and your purpose and your well-being, even amongst the busyness and the crazy tight schedule. And that will look different for everyone, I think, for sure. But I think one of the greatest tools for that is mindfulness. And the great thing about mindfulness is that it doesn't have to be a formal meditation practice where you're sitting down and you're just watching your breath and, you know, you're sort of designating yourself 20 minutes or an hour or whatever. But it's actually cultivating this mindfulness and awareness within your daily routine. So even if you are scrubbing the decks, or you're washing the dishes, or you're, you know, tending to guests, or doing whatever you're doing, it's actually really starting to cultivate a real presence with that, so that you can be utterly engaged with it. And from that place, actually things become much more enjoyable, you know. And so it's finding that joy again, even in the small tasks, and changing your mindset, in rather than creating, you know, sort of thinking that they're jobs that need to get done so you can then go and relax for 5 minutes. Sort of finding that place within you, you know, that is, you know, find your breath, find your center, find the, you know, focus on the sensations or the wind on your cheeks or whatever it is that you can sort of bring yourself a little bit back into that moment. I think that that's probably one of the number one, I would say. And often it's so simple, it gets missed actually, but it's not necessarily about trying to sort of pack your day with more practices, or you've got to schedule in another 20-minute meditation or whatever it is on an already too busy schedule. But finding those places within the schedule, I think, is probably definitely the way that I managed to do it, was, you know, really sort of finding, okay, in the days, how could I bring more presence and more joy into the work and the job that I'm doing, and make that my practice, you know? So I think that's probably number one.
You talk me through that. Let's say that, like, let's put ourselves back. We're on the boat. I'm running around like cleaning like mad. You can see I'm a bit stressed, and you've noticed I've been getting a bit more stressed, and maybe having one too many espressos a day. Everyone knows what happens, Amanda, after too many espressos. And I'm starting to get a little bit, you know, you can short, and you can see you're like, as say Chief Stew, you're like, I want to reach out to her and say, are you okay? So, you know, how would you guide me through slowing down a little bit and being a little bit more mindful as I go about my everyday jobs and routines?
Well, I think another great way to do that is that if you notice, I mean, for one thing, is just that thing in itself of actually just noticing that you're already starting to get, you know, sort of too caught up and too in a rush, and there's one thing of noticing it and then being able to slow down, for sure. But the first thing is being able to catch yourself in that. Are you just like, you know, running too fast within your own being? Yeah, you can be efficient in your job, but actually, is it making you anxious and frustrated and stressed? And, you know, are you sort of starting to miss things and move too quickly? And so just that recognition, I think, is a great thing. And then the next thing is really to sort of learn to start taking pauses, even for 10 seconds maybe between the jobs. So rather than sort of, you know, if you've got one job and then you run to the next one, even if it's just between those jobs, you just, for a moment, you just notice your breath and come back into your heart space. And then you come on to the next one, you know? And so actually just taking those moments, and, you know, even better if you could take 30 seconds or something and actually just even stop for a moment, even if it was just to look out for 30 seconds. No one's going to notice what you're doing. You don't have to tell anybody what you're doing, you know, but just in that sense of being able to kind of break the jobs up, so you're not just kind of running on this continuous wheel. And it is a practice. It's not an easy one. It's easy to forget, but when you do start getting into it, it really can create some miracles and a lot more spaciousness in your life, for sure. Yeah.
So can I just go back a step? You just said come back into your heart space. There could be a lot of people listening to this that don't actually, they might have heard that, but not actually understand that concept, not actually understand what that means. So what do you, I know it's quite a big topic in itself, but how would you describe coming back into your heart space?
Yeah, good question, Amanda. Thanks for that. Yeah, no, it is, can be a bit of a vague term, for sure. I recognize that maybe I use it too freely now, but, you know, I guess it's that sense of coming back to yourself, you know, coming back to your center, and we sort of spend our lives, especially when we're, you know, we have a role to play out and we're working, we're in a busy atmosphere and we've got a jobs list and all the rest of it. We get quite sort of outward, and we've got to do this and we've got to go there and we've got to get this done, and, you know, and so it's just taking a moment actually to come back into your own being, into your own self, into your own sense of feeling of where you are, sense of, you know, connection to you know, just your sensations or whatever it is that brings you back into yourself in whatever way that looks for you, or however that sort of resonates in regards to terminology. I think that everyone has a sense of what that is, but they may sort of call it something differently depending on.
Yeah, I mean, for example, something that I learned was just to feel my feet on the floor.
Exactly.
To stop and just feel my bum on the seat.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. My hand on the chamois.
Yeah. And it sounds so simple. It's like, what? How's that going to help? And that's the thing. I think often these practices, the simplicity of them, people pass them by, and they don't sort of, you know, they don't think that they're actually going to work, or they have. But it's actually one of the most powerful things is to feel connected to your body, you know, in whatever you're doing. And like you say, if you can feel that connection underneath your feet, just even for a moment, there is an amazing power in that when you start to cultivate it. Yeah.
And so if I needed to slow down my thoughts, you know, and you know how sometimes people say, just stop and take a breath, you know. When I was dealing with post-traumatic stress and anxiety, like when someone said, don't forget to breathe, or, you know, I'd want to punch them in the nose.
Yeah.
I'm breathing all right. You know, so could you just talk me through like a 5-second process of how I can slow down my thoughts and just take a breath?
Yeah, for sure. I think the first thing is to relax your physical body, you know, to actually just for a moment to consciously relax your shoulders, consciously, you know, just check that your head is not in tension, you know, relax your belly. Like you say, whether it's feeling your butt on the ground and relaxing there, or relaxing your knees, and just noticing even your hands. Notice how you're feeling your hands. Your hands are really sensitive, so they're actually great places to go to first. And so you can actually, you know, if you're noticing if you're clasping your hands or not, maybe, and just consciously relaxing them. And that can even just be bringing conscious attention to that area and noticing how you're holding it. And then just allowing yourself to just soften, you know, just to soften even for a minute. And I think that can be a powerful and quite a simple tool to bring you back into sort of more of a sort of deactivate the fight or flight, you know, which is basically where our adrenaline gets so caught up that we sort of end up in this continuous state of like being just ready for a fight or to flight. And that's, you know, really where burnout starts to happen, is when we're continuously in this mode. And so really starting to, you know, tell the body that it's safe and that you can relax, and you can relax your shoulders, and you're not holding that emotional but muscular tension in your body. Then the body will respond, and then also your mind will follow. And so they work together. So starting with the body is a great tool, I think. Yeah.
Oh my God, I just feel relaxed just listening to your voice. It's so beautiful. Oh, back in the Zoe zone. And so if people want to follow you at all during the season, are you still running a Facebook group, or do you do any work online? How do people reach you? What services do you provide at the moment? Is there they can contact you?
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for that. I do. I have a Facebook group which is called The Tao and the Art of Wellness, which is it's a free Facebook group, and it's got all sorts of things from Chinese medicine to yoga and meditation and recipes and just sort of general well-being, emotional poems, all sorts of stuff on there. There's and sometimes I do masterclasses, and anyway, it's all free. So I'll send you the link and you can join up for that. It's been a little bit left in the last while, just because I've been back in England. I've been actually enjoying being offline quite a lot myself, enjoying a bit of relaxation and rejuvenation in the great outdoors, which has been amazing. So yeah, you might not see so much at the moment, but I'm going to revamp it super soon. So yeah, come join anyway. And then I have a free, I have an offering of a coaching program as well, which you could find out more, where you could work with me one-on-one as well for 3 months if you wanted to. So yeah.
Amazing. So we'll put those links below this
Yeah.
live on the page when we get it up.
Awesome.
And yeah, thank you so much for coming on today.
My pleasure.
And then if people want to retreat, you're going to be working down in Greece, is that right?
Yeah. That I'll be working in a resort down there and creating retreats. So it's, yeah, if you wanted to come and get interested in that, then you'd be very welcome as well, for sure. So I can send the link of that as well. Although I'm going there to actually create the retreat, so there's nothing online as at the moment. But September they'll be starting to be created.
And keep your eyes out. Zoe and I are talking about a Tasmanian adventure. So if anyone wants to come and relax, they can.
Relax, get into the wild. Yeah, sounds super good.
Hug ancient trees. Awesome. Thanks so much, Zoe. So good to catch up with you. I love you so much. And thanks for just calming us all down so much today. And yeah, don't forget to follow Zoe. She's doing some amazing, beautiful things for the world and just has so much to give and contributes on such a massive level, and always has done. You're an inspiration.
Likewise, thank you.
Yachting industry should be proud.
Thank you, Amanda, and thank you for everything you're doing and all you're creating and just your inspiration. I mean, Amanda just messaged me yesterday saying, do you want to come on for an interview? And it was just like, wow, I just love your style of just, let's just make this happen. It's it's inspiring. Thank you. Yeah, it's
the way, it's funny, you get to an and he's looking for DJs and dance parties and good sailing competitions and big waves to surf, and then your 30s you find yourself and try all these different things, and then in your 40s you just become obsessed with giving back, don't you? Make a contribution in the world. So and so many people are doing that, and that's what I'm loving about this series, is that in the past I've been interviewing my amazing mentors who are incredible people, and you'll get to meet them, or we can post the chats from last year and the year before and the year before that. But this year I decided that I'm going to focus on people that have worked on boats and are in the industry, or have left boats and are still nurturing people in the industry, because we get it. And that was why it's just so lovely to chat to you today.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thanks again. I'll speak to you soon.
All right. See you. Thank you.
Bye.